Okay, let's talk through Olympia because it's been a little bit since I competed. It has now probably been like about a month since Olympia. So we'll start off with kind of peak week and how we're going because I know like that's a whole journey in itself. Peak week started off, we picked up, before we left for Las Vegas, we picked up my suit from KH Customs, which is actually like my favorite suit I've gotten all 3 years of competing. It is so beautiful.
This is probably my favorite suit of all time.
Like how you made this all go together is astonishing.
I know. Thanks.
Like from every angle. You know that meme where it's like from the front, stunning, from the side. That's literally what the suit is. Guys, if you need a suit, like I don't know what else proof you need. All her suits are bangers, but like look at this. This is crazy.
I was really excited to wear that on show day. Saw Jody for like last little bit check-ins and everything like that just to kind of build some confidence because she didn't come to Olympia with me this year. Usually she does. She had Connor recently, who's her youngest son, and so she couldn't travel with me. But besides that, like everything in the home area before we left was like all in line. Like I had all my food, my suit, everything was packed, we're ready to go. Usually I fly out like 2-3 days beforehand for Olympia just because I want to make sure my body fully adjusts, which is a good thing because this year was the first year that I actually held water when I traveled, which like that literally never happens. When it's like competition season, it doesn't happen. When I'm casually traveling, it doesn't happen. So that was different because I woke up and I didn't drop weight, which I was like, whoa, what the heck? So that was a little bit different. But regardless of that, traveling in for Las Vegas went super smooth. My chair, actually it didn't go super smooth. My chair barely made it through because the machines were broken that day. So like poor Patrick and Jackie was stuck with me as we were trying to like get my chair on the plane. So we had a whole group of 4 of us going into Las Vegas on the Tuesday. And that was like a good amount of people where it wasn't overstimulating for me, but I still felt like I had like a good circle of people who were very close to me and who supported me, which is also very important heading into the O. Basically that entire week went really smooth in terms of I was eating a ton of food because I was actually like properly peaking and everything like that. So like we depleted before leaving and then we fueled up basically that week. You know, I was looking really good. I was feeling really good. Overall, one of my biggest worries, which I didn't actually talk about at all going into the O, but I had actually pulled my hip flexor 2 weeks before the O. And it was because it was my last training session with Antoine and it was just, my body, I think, was just a little more fragile than we were expecting. But I had pulled it during leg day, and then it was like pretty sore for like a good amount of time. And I had seen Dr. Dave, Dylan, everyone to fix it. And then by the time O came around, it was fully better. But it was so bad at one point where I couldn't even like, in a straddle, I couldn't like lift my leg, which if you guys know my routine, there was a lot of portions where like that was definitely needed. And then also the other part that caused a little bit of stress was that I actually couldn't flex my hip flexors at all in my front pose, and that was worrisome because obviously we've worked so hard this year to come up better in the physique, so that worried me. So that was a little bit of other things that were going on behind the scenes. I also got sick during the week of Olympia, during peak week. I started feeling sick at athlete meeting on the Wednesday, and I just kept telling myself like, oh, it's just dry in Arizona, or not Arizona, it's dry in Las Vegas, that's why my throat's itchy. Or like, oh, I have a headache because of the barometric pressure, or like the different sea levels and altitude or whatever. But I was like, by the time I hit Hawaii, which was like literally on the Sunday, also the Saturday, I was fully blown sick. I was in the back of the Uber and I was like breathing and the guy was like, yo, who's blowing bubbles? Like Girly Pop was unwell. Needless to say, those are just like a couple hiccups that happened throughout peak week. So like, yes, it was very smooth in terms of things that we could control, but other factors that we couldn't control, they were a little bit more up and down. Jody and I talked about it because obviously like, we presented the best package possible that day, and it was still my personal best. However, I wasn't perfectly peaked in that my legs were a little bit, like they were fading a little bit faster, and that's something that always happens to me. I think because Thursday had the press conference, it had meet the athletes, and I was also coming down with being sick, my body was just really fatigued, so I wasn't digesting as well as we were expecting, and the water wasn't getting pushed through my body as well as we were expecting. And so by the time show day came, I was a little bit softer looking than we would have hoped. Again, those things kind of happen, like it's no one's fault. Like Jody, literally, I trust her with everything. She did my prep perfectly. Peak week up until the point of like things, again, that were out of our control. It just didn't work out. But again, we still showed up the best package possible. And I think because, look at Rocket right now, he's so freaking cute. Anyways, besides that, I love my dog so much. I had hoped to take more pictures of myself in my suit because it was so beautiful. However, that day, because I wasn't feeling slay in the morning, because I knew I wasn't looking as good as I thought I was gonna be looking, I held back on pictures and just kind of like took them with my friends and family and kind of enjoyed the vibes because I just wasn't as confident and good feeling as I was, say, after Arizona, which was a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, I am still really, really proud of how Prejudge went. The only thing that I wish was different was that when I went to go sweep my hair, one of my pieces of hair like came into the middle of my back, and I usually always post a picture of my back pose, but because I have a straight piece of hair in the middle of my back, I'm like, I hate it. So that's why you guys haven't seen any pictures from show day, to kind of give you a reason why. It's not because we're like unhappy with the look. It's not because of whatever. It was just how I was feeling, even though it was my best look. Because of the other factors, I personally didn't feel as like confident in it, so that's why I haven't posted any pictures. But I will post them because I look back and I'm like, oh, I still looked great. And the suit is absolutely stunning. Moving on to routine round, phenomenal. I literally, Gilco posted it, so I'll put the link in the description as well so you guys can go look at it if you haven't seen my routine. It was also on my last YouTube of like recapping Olympia, so just go watch that as well. But I watched that routine and I am literally still so incredibly happy with how it looked. Like everything was like on beat, on time. There is 2 things that I wish were different and they are so minimal. One, when I went on stage, and I felt it actually, when I went to go do the steps, it wasn't as equal, my steps, as they could have been. Such a small detail, but just like looking at it, I'm like, that could be one part that could have been executed slightly better. And then in pictures, actually, not actually doing it, but I noticed like one of my legs was bent in my back walkover, my one-handed one, and I was like, ew, why are your legs bent, Taylor? So that was one thing. Those are the 2 things that I was like, okay, those could have been executed a little bit better, but overall, I was so happy, and I do feel like when I finished my ending pose and my arms up and so happy, like that was my moment of just loving the Olympia, and like that was what I was chasing all prep, and so I'm really, really happy with everything. I came first for routine again, so I've come first both in 2023, 2024, and now 2025, so that's a huge accomplishment to be not only first place in routine, but also like unanimously first place. I've gotten a perfect score every single year, which is something that I pride myself on. That's definitely the part that I'm always striving to get that score. Prejudge round, I'm just looking to improve. There's no like set number that I'm looking for or anything like that, because we do know that I am on the smaller side, so we can't expect to be like, I'm gonna become first place. Like that's just unrealistic. We just go and we try to show improvements and show the judges that we are continuously working to build a better package and a better stage presence. That was pretty much Olympia weekend in terms of how everything went and how everything felt. I am very happy with how the weekend went, not only with the performance, but also just, you know, the press conference went really smooth. Meet the Athletes was great. All the athletes that were there competing on that stage, I got to reconnect with so many people I haven't seen in a year. And I was really happy to see like all the fitness girls as well. Being reunited and being in that environment where you see everyone competing and we're all at such a high level, we're all just proud to be there and we're all just proud of each other for making it there. And so huge shout out to all the girls who competed, and obviously Shelly, who won the title. That is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for her because she is a lovely person in person and online. And so I think it's just great to have that, you know, standard set for our division. She obviously is like a more built individual. She's very symmetrical, she's conditioned, she's beautiful on stage with her presence, and then her routine is obviously very, very lovely as well. Her skills, I think, out of all the girls is also very unique. She does a lot of things, like she does her cobra up to handstand to the handstand clap, which no one else does. She's very powerful in her big jumps and everything like that. So really big shout out to our current fitness Olympian champion. Moving on past Olympia, we obviously went to Hawaii, which you guys saw, and I did not measure a single thing, okay? Okay, this is one thing I do, small clap for that. This is one thing I do want to talk about because I don't think people talk about it too much, but coming out of Olympia, being someone who does a show right beforehand, I'm in competition peak close weight type thing about 2 weeks before Arizona, which was September 13th, I think it was. So I'm pretty much like very close to my stage weight by the end of August. And so by the end of August to like middle of October, I am 102. I'm very lean, I'm very conditioned, and you get used to seeing yourself like that because it's like, what, 2 months? Then after the show, obviously you enjoy yourself. Like me, I went on vacation. Was that the best idea? Like, no, but also I want to live my life and have fun, and I do not regret it at all. But something that does creep into your mind is like, oh my gosh, like you're looking really soft, you're looking really fat, you feel fat. And it's rewiring your brain to remember what healthy looks like versus show day, because realistically show day is nothing that is maintainable. Like I should not be 102 walking around my entire life. That's just like unsustainable. One, healthy wise, I lose my period, which hormonally is just like not the best, but also just like you don't need to be that light because you're also eating like way under your daily calories. And if you want to be at a healthy weight where you're able to put on more muscle mass, where you're able to actually like go back to a functioning human where you don't go like every 2 hours being starving, it's really important to bring back that regular calorie intake. So now that I've been back and I'm on macros, my body is like the inflammation's gone, the puffiness is gone, but I'm not as hard as I was August, September, October. And it's rewiring my brain to be like, oh Taylor, like you're not fat, you're just healthy now. Like this is just a healthy weight, this is what you should be walking around. You don't need to see striations in your body all the time. Some people are genetically gifted where they have that, they're just naturally always lean. My body type isn't like that. I sit a little softer, especially in like my lower tummy and in my like lower glute area. And I still maintain muscle mass and like leanness in my upper body, and like I still have leg cuts. It's only when I flex. It's not just like walking around shredded. I can't expect that for myself, and I shouldn't be at that weight where that happens, because again, it's unhealthy. And so I've been struggling a little bit. Some days are great. Some days I'm like, yes, you're healthy. Everything's great. Everything's amazing. And then some mornings I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, you're a whale. No one can see your body. Wear a sweatsuit all day. So it is juggling that body dysmorphia. My relationship with food is still good though. Like I'm still like, regardless of how I'm feeling, I'm still following my macros, which is super important. I do think one thing that I struggled with back in 2019 is that I let that noise of body dysmorphia affect my relationship with food. Food is still fuel, we still need to be eating, and it's super important. I have Jody there as well with support, so she like is someone that I can talk to about things, and she's put myself at like a very manageable macro intake. Currently right now we're eating around 120 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and around like 60 grams of fat. So roughly that's like 1850, like 1900 calories, which is really great for someone who's just getting back into maintenance, getting back into routine. So I wanted to touch on that because I do feel like some people think like at a certain level of bodybuilding, like you don't face that kind of like struggle, but like I've been competing at the pro level and I'm one of the top Olympians in the fitness division for now 3 years, and I still face that. So it's completely normal as long as you just have people to talk to, people to lean into, and just like be open and honest about it. I do think something that is detrimental is just like faking it. Like if I was on here being like, yeah, like I'm still shredded and just like only posting pictures of when I look immaculate, I think that's when it becomes unhealthy, because if you're always looking at pictures of yourself shredded, but in real life you're not, you have like this like imposter syndrome kind of type thing. So just being honest with yourself, being honest with people around you, and again, being very accepting and patient with the process. I've started running. I'm a runner girl now, okay? I ran last week, so proud of myself. I ran at zone 2 for like 25 minutes, and then I did interval sprints at my desired pace that I would like. I ran a total of like 4 times in the last week, which is really exciting. I ran my first 5K today, okay? Not to brag, but I think I'm gonna do a pretty good 10K time, because that's like one of my goals for this season. I can't say my goal because I'm competing against Jackie. And I don't want him to know my goal time because then he's gonna try to beat me. So I do have a goal time in mind, but I'm not gonna share it yet. Maybe I'll block him in my like spilling the tea groups, that way he can't join, and I'll tell you guys in there on my Instagram group. But I have that, and then I also know that a couple of my friends and I also want to do high rocks this season as well. We haven't picked a high rocks like competition. I don't know if it's called like a competition or show day or race. I don't know the terminology for it because I'm new. But we do want to do that at some point. And then honestly, just getting back into like everything that I've missed. Like prep, I get rid of Pilates. I get rid of Animal Flow. Even my handstand class that I was doing with my coach, Francesco, like I had to get rid of that. Now, this week, I'm back into Pilates, back into Animal Flow, back into workshops, monkey vault, like all the things that kind of like make me and like able to do my Instagram. I'm putting those back into my schedule because I have the time and I have the energy from all the food that I'm eating. Calisthenics, I have some goals. Today we tried to do a strict muscle up on a wall. Did not achieve such goal, but that will be like one of my goals. I want to get my strict muscle up. I think I've been saying that now for like the past 5 years, but I genuinely want to get my strict muscle up. I want to get my one arm handstand and I want to get my front lever. Okay, so if it comes down to January 2027, so like I'm gonna give myself a full year for all that stuff. If it comes down to January 27 and I don't have those skills yet, literally come for me, because I'm gonna get them. I've said it for too long that it's impossible for me not to go get them, because I am, again, getting back into that calisthenic regimen and things that actually like pertain to those skills, and I'm gonna have like a lot of time to work on them, so I'm really excited for that. Competition wise, I know a lot of people wondered if I was doing the Arnold, well, like competitors and stuff like that. I'm gonna say right now, I'm not doing the Arnold, mainly because I also go to Asia in like 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be eating in Asia, and I'm there for 3 weeks. So jumping into Arnold with like a 3-month prep just isn't doable for me. I'm someone who needs like 4 to 5 months. So we'll not be at the Arnold this year because I'm gonna be enjoying life. That's pretty much it. That's the one thing that I wanted to definitively say for sure. We're enjoying life. We're getting back into things that bring me joy and, you know, bring me back to like my skill base, because like, there's something about the last 3 years that have kind of like, I haven't been able to learn anything new, and that's something that I'm really wanting to do in 2026. Like I want to learn new tricks and skills and really feel like I'm upgrading myself. So that's my main focus this year. Like if I have one goal at all, it's to walk away within 2026, when it comes around from the full year, is to have a bunch of new skills that I can be like, hey, this is all the work I've put in, here are all the skills that I have. I've been very like 110% into like prep since May, and so your body, your mind all needs that break in order to, you know, rebuild itself in like a stronger way. So that is all that's with me. We did a whole pre-Olympia, Olympia, post-Olympia. So hopefully that's a good video for you guys and you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, drop them below, and we'll see you guys next time.